All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Serious Angler podcast, powered by our friends over at X2 Power Batteries. We're back with the captain, Mr. Andy Full. As always, I'm your host, Bailey Egbrett. Andy, what's going on, man?
Not much. You sound a little rushed tonight.
Yeah.
Everything all right over there?
It's been a hectic day, man. Still, that's the reason we're a few minutes late, at least going live here. It's 8:07. We usually go live at 8. And it's just been hectic, to say the least. Just finally wrapping up our bracket to be made for part 2 of the show tonight, which will be fun. But nonetheless, finally got everything, I think, in order here. But we're good to go, and we got Mr. Justin Hamner joining us for today. For first part of the show, we're gonna catch up with Justin, talk about catching a freaking 11-pounder on Bassmaster Live, which is his personal best.
Wait, he caught that on a jig, right? If I remember correctly.
Jerkbait.
Oh, I remember he caught a giant on a jig too.
I think that was Toledo.
You might be right.
I think it was Toledo. Day 3 Toledo, I want to say.
Maybe.
I mean, he's going to join us, so we can check it out.
Series together.
I'm fairly positive it's a jerkbait because that dude is a jerkbait throwing machine. And it's fitting, which is why I think I picked the bracket for today, and it's a jerkbait bracket challenge. People definitely seem to have liked when we do those. So later on in the episode, we're going to have Mr. Tyler Berger joining for part 2, as well as and he's coming on as a last minute because we've been, like I'm saying, everything's been last minute right now. A good buddy of mine, never been on the show before. He's a freaking hammer and definitely has his experience with a bunch of jerkbaits, and that is Kobe Koenig of Wired to Fish is going to come join us as well to go through that bracket. So it'll be Andy and those two fellas joining the show to do a little jerkbait.
Oh, gosh, I hope I know enough about jerkbaits as much as they do. So
probably not as much as those two, but
yeah.
Then again, I don't know any of us combined have enough experience to even try to match with Mr. Hamner that'll be joining us here in a second. That dude's a fiend. But we got a bunch of things to cover off quick before we bring Justin in to start the show off. Obviously, big week to kick off let's call it the championship season, if you will.
Yeah.
Red Crest kicks off on, I think, Thursday, I believe.
We just had the MPFL championship at Amistad.
Yeah, and that was I was talking with Paul Benson on the phone today. We're gonna try to put a show together, kind of wrapping up that and how they were fishing down there in Amistad, and put together there were some big old bags, big fish caught. And there's some different things that will make for some really cool conversation that Paul informed me over the phone today. So we're going to look out for that. We'll probably be a post-classic show that we'll do with that. But yeah, I mean, championship for MPFL. We got Red Crest coming this week. And then obviously next week will be the Classic. We will not be at Red Crest this week. We'll be at the Classic, though. Mostly will be around the X2 Power booth. I will be unfortunately, the whole gang can't attend this year. You guys are stuck with just me if you are attending the Classic. We'll be at the X2.
Who scheduled the Classic around spring break to make flights so expensive? That's my question.
I don't know. I think it's a Tulsa thing, man. I think Tulsa is always expensive because it was expensive for Red Crest the last time.
Yeah, nationwide flights are up like $100-$200 for that week alone, like wherever you go. A lot of school districts around the country are on spring break.
But who the hell's flying to freaking Tulsa?
Oh, it's just flying in general. Like,
if you're going to Classic, it makes sense. But like spring break, no one's be like, "Hey, I'm going to spring break to Tulsa." Like,
no one's just blaming on the economy. All right, like the economy stinks. So
I don't know, dude. I've been flying all over the place in the past 2 months, and flights have been fine. Yeah. It's been actually pretty cheap, actually.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. Either way, so I'll be at the Classic. We'll be at the X2 Power booth. We'll be floating around the Humminbird Minn Kota booth. Omnia is actually gonna have a booth there as well. I think they're dueling up with Aquaview to have a booth at the Classic. So we'll have a bunch of that information the closer we get, and we're gonna talk a little bit of Classic as well with Hamner, of course, being that he's gonna be competing in it. Speaking of X2, one of the notes we have is that the X2 Power batteries are still heavily discounted right now. If anyone's looking to scoop some up, you're getting the boat out, looking to get things ready if you're kicking off your season anytime soon. So check those out. Links, of course, down below. And we do have a discount code if you want to save some money on some batteries. With that being said as well, yesterday, Blackfish Gear dropped some new stuff. They've dropped, which I'm hyped about because it's basically my entire wardrobe. If you guys know me, all I wear is sun pants or sun shorts.
I ordered my 2 pairs today.
What's that?
I ordered my pairs today. New pants.
There you go. New pants.
New pants.
Andy's will be ripped in a week.
Probably.
Yeah. That's all he's stick
just kidding. Yes.
But yeah, they dropped some new sun pants, which is going to be absolutely clutch. I'm ordering a crap ton, as well as some new colors in some of their some of these sun hoodies, the UPF shirts, and the sun hoodies, which is another one big one. Once it's winter start, like that April time frame, I only wear sun hoodies basically from then until November as well. It's basically my entire wardrobe. Yeah. Well, in addition to that, I don't know if we talked about it on the last show, but the potential state record for Indiana smallmouth was broken, an 8-pounder. It's actually this dude's got a sick freaking name, Rex Remington. I mean, that's a damn cool name if I ever heard one.
Sounds like Rex should have shot the biggest buck in Indiana. With that
the wrong record. Wrong record. But it was 8.23 pounds, and apparently it was caught on a jerkbait, specifically a Berkeley stunner. So there's more to confirm on that, but pretty cool stuff. There's been some write-ups on Outdoor Life, Wired to Fish, things like that. But nonetheless, cool to see more records being fallen and fish getting bigger still. So with that, I did have some links down below. We'll get into later in the part 2 when we do the bracket, but we'll have all the links to the different things we talk about on today's show, like the new tube crawl that Great Lakes Finesse actually just dropped, the Juvie crawl, which is
very interesting.
Intriguing. Yeah. I don't know if people follow them on social, but their release video, if you will, showing the new bait was actually kind of intriguing. So check that out. It's actually on Omni already. So if you want to get some 10% off, we have the discount code and the link down below for you guys to check out. But beyond that, we have a new discount code for Hobie Eyewear, and they have some new stuff on the horizon, which I'm pretty hyped about. They'll be at the Classic as well. Make sure you guys check that out below. We don't really have a code, if you will, to get Hobie Eyewear. So if you guys have been looking for us in the past 2-3 years that we working with Hobie to get a discount off of shades, you just got to go through our link now. There really isn't a discount code you can use on the site anymore. Just got to go and click the link in any of our social media or any of our shows. And that's how you can, once you click the link, that discount's automatically applied to whatever you're going to be buying from Hobie. So pretty cool stuff, man. A lot of big news, a lot to catch up on, and we'll have even more when we're doing our pre-classic show next week. But Andy, I think without further ado, we should get our guest in here.
We shouldn't keep him waiting. He's going to drink all this sweet tea down there, and it'll be gone.
That's right. Without further ado, let's bring him on here. Mr. Justin Hamner, what's going on, Pat?
What'd y'all say about hello?
Hey, there? Hear us?
There it is.
Oh, nice.
Maybe.
You got us?
I don't know. Did y'all say sweet tea?
Yeah, I said you're going to drink it all, and then you held it up.
Man, y'all are like stepping up in the world. Y'all like making this look legit.
It's all Bailey's doing.
I don't know about legit, but it's all Photoshop. It's AI. It's all fake.
Everything's AI.
Everything's fake.
Isn't actually me.
Dude, I've been seeing some freaking posts from brands lately going down the rabbit hole of AI that they're like, they don't even have people modeling their apparel anymore. They're using AI to feature all their stuff.
What?
Yeah, dude, I saw it the other day. And I'm like,
good way to save money.
It was not going to have a job.
I won't say them out loud, but like, I just was like, yeah, I can't follow this crap. Just unfollowed completely.
Who is it? Who is
I'll tell you after. I'm not in the game
just
of
throw him under the bus.
Just toss him. Controversy. We want controversy, Bailey.
Yeah, that's what sells these days.
If anybody knows this show or knows me, I am the least person away like that gets involved with controversy. I want to be as far away as possible.
I think that's why you have me on. I hate it.
Fair enough.
So there's that, but then I also get people on that do love controversy so that they can say it for me.
There you go.
Yeah, scapegoats.
Way to do it.
Yeah. Dude, how the hell you been since Lake Fork? You be able to come down from that high of catching an 11-pounder on live?
No, I'm
He's
just
still
gonna do
shaking.
that every tournament now.
Hell yeah.
Gosh, that was. Did y'all see that fish?
Yeah.
That thing was stout.
We were sitting there
yeah.
watching it live, and I was like, "That's a goddamn blimp."
It was stupid. Like I've never caught a 10-pounder before. Hell, I guess I still haven't. But yeah, it was
Straight to 11.
Wait,
Straight to, that's
yeah,
a big
that
jump.
was I shaking?
It looked like you were shaking when you caught it. I mean, I wouldn't blame you though.
I tried to stand up and fish like right after that, and I grabbed the rod and whatever, and I went to go make a cast, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll just give me a minute. Like I've never been the guy to like sit down and like take a breather, but I had to like legit just like, all right. And then I realized I still had a
What just
3-pounder. I
happened?
was like, oh crap, I got fish still.
How much was left in the day when you caught that thing?
About an hour and a half. Yeah, it was like right at 1:30. And dude,
I think it was that when you made that call, the X2 team, we were like Jacob and Alex and them boys, we were all chit chatting back and forth. They're like, "Oh, did you see that? Like Hammer with the 11?" And we're like, and I think at that rate, that put you unofficially to like, well, unofficially official to I think you were in second by like maybe a pound. And I think you still had like a high 3 or something like that in your bag still.
Yeah,
and we're like, dude,
that's
like if he just smokes another giant, like, it's over.
And I don't know. I think it was after it went off because it was like right after 2:00. I had one like under the trolling motor. It was like a 7 something, and it just freaking short. Just had one hook. I mean, it was like barely on the tip of his mouth, but it pulled off. But yeah, I was like,
No.
oh, that would have helped. And then I get back, and the worst part was my dad. He's like, him and my family actually drove all the way over there like that night, and they were there, and my dad's like in the parking lot, and I was like, I haven't looked at anything, so I ain't got a clue. My dad comes up to me, he's like, all you needed was a pound and a half. Like, wait, what? He's like,
You
yeah,
hadn't
you got
spoiled it.
second by a pound and a half. I was like,
You're like,
oh
damn it, Dad.
crap. Yeah. And then just to find out I lost by like 7 pounds. So, you know,
Yeah.
didn't even get third or got third or whatever. It was like, okay, that fish wouldn't have done it for me. But at the time, I was, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well,
This is whatever. I had a freaking 11-pounder. Nobody could tell
dude,
me
and
nothing.
yeah, and 100 and was it 120? 120 something? Was it
124 pounds.
24? Sheesh.
Yeah. Don't be shortchanging me.
I was trying to remember off the top of my head. I actually didn't even go and look at it, but I remember you're like 7 pounds back, and I'm like, what did Trey have? And I was trying to do the math in my head quick of
Oh
what
yeah,
you had.
it was like 6.5, something like that. So
Did it ever
nuts.
cross your mind, like as your weight was getting up there, of the potential to go and break the bass record, the 4-day?
I wasn't really thinking about that.
No.
I wanted to win. Like I wanted to win bad, but no.
What did you think you
I
needed
never
to
really
have?
thought of that. Like mid to upper 30s, which that's a bold statement, Cotton.
Yeah, when you're going to you're going to launch that morning. Like, I think I need 40 today. And it's like,
Yeah.
what?
If I can get 40, I think I'll have a chance. And then you're actually like, I could, because like no crap, I should have had 40 3 of those 4 days. Like had the fish on, saw them. Yep, jerkbait fish. Jerkbait fish. By the end of the tournament, I was using 20-pound tests on my jerkbait. Like
20?
It was
and they didn't
20.
care.
No, they didn't care. It was just like I was having to horse them. If you haven't been to Fork, it is a landmine of whatever timber.
So they do just like dig you down and pin you against the stumps basically and pull off.
They like, you think them smallmouth pull, they do pull for their size, but when you have like those 7 to 8 pounders, Lake Fork, I don't know why, they are some pissed off fish. Like they are mad at the world.
Get caught all the time by
I think that's what it is. They like they know what happened and they know what to do, because they will just go directly to whatever the nearest stump is, which is only like 2 foot away. I still don't know what. I feel like they planted that or something, because I've never been in a forest where their trees are so densely like packed in together. It's like this isn't right. I don't even know how that
Yeah,
happens.
because they just flooded like a flat, basically, right? Or like a river drain or something. I don't know exactly how they did it, but
a natural forest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that
I
all
don't
of
know.
Texas though? Like most of those
Yes,
lakes are
yes,
like natural forests. Oh
it's
man.
crazy, but dude, they got them. I mean, it would. I'm pretty good at live scope. Like, feel like I know what I'm looking at, and the amount of giant fish that of that size that I saw that would be just inches from my bait that week, it blow your mind. It's
What do you think the
ridiculous.
ratio was of like fish you saw versus fish you caught?
Oh, that's a good question.
Ooh, a good day, probably maybe 10% on my
Wow, really? You're
best
seeing
day.
that many big ones?
Yeah, yeah, and
That'd
that's
drive me
probably
mad.
like really high. It's frustrating. Like, dude, that 11, whatever, 11.7, I saw it every day of the tournament on the same exact stump. And like I would start in there in that morning, and there would always be like a new wave of fish pull in, and they were dumb. Like I could tell, like as soon as you throw to them, it's pretty easy to catch those. But then there was like the same like little run I would make to try to get these, few fish to bite, and they were just giant sitting on those same little spots. But that fish, every time I throw my jerkbait bite, it would just go straight to the bottom. I mean, it's like 8 foot deep, something like that. But for whatever reason, that freaking final day, that was the second time I came back in there. I started in there that morning. That morning I threw to her, and she just went to the bottom. And then when I pulled up there that afternoon, like I threw it because she was so high later in the day. I mean, dude, she was probably maybe 2 foot below the surface.
Whoa.
So I threw it just like right past her. And I mean, I came in on her. Instead of like normally you keep the bait above them so they'll come up to eat it. I came at her, and it
You hit
pissed
her in
her
the
off.
face, basically.
Like I was like in her zone. That was 100% just like a reaction. Hey, this is in my freaking area, and I'm destroying you.
I'm destroying
It was so good.
You think she was spawning then?
She
If it was that consistent over 4 days? Or
I
that's
don't
just
think
like
she
her big
I think
fish
she was
territory?
I think she was just waiting for it to get right, because there
Wow.
was never any other fish with her. And, dude, I think she was just because it was a
Sunbathing.
perfect spawning pocket. Yeah, 100%.
That's just her log.
And
She owns that log. Nobody else
like
comes near
that
her
was
log.
her log. Yes.
That's old Bessie's log.
Like
Yeah.
Shrek, this is my swamp.
Oh my gosh. And just to clarify, she had it like in the mouth. So don't go Randy Bucket on me. I didn't snag it.
Yeah. I think if anybody goes and
She
watches the
ate it.
clip, they'll see it's very clearly eaten.
Yeah. When
It's
she
gone.
came up like jumping, it was like it was gone. That was freaking awesome.
I mean, shoot at that size,
Uh,
11 pounder, just like one small, open of the mouth. That's
oh
a
yeah.
vacuum sealer. It's
Dude, I think that's
oh,
what's so frustrating of how many other ones like that size were it's like, "Just open your mouth. Just open your freaking mouth.
yeah,
I just wanna put you on the scale real quick, and then I'll let you go."
yeah. It's like it'll take 10
Oh,
seconds.
it's
It'll be in
cool.
and out.
It's cool. Yeah.
It'll only
Don't
hurt
even
for
have
a
to fight.
second.
Yeah.
Ugh. Nah, they don't
So
feel pain.
beefing up to 20 pound, did you have to swap like trebles, like beef up your trebles any, or did you just kind of stay with what you were rocking?
Stay with what I'm rocking. I'm already rocking some pretty stout stuff.
All right.
Yeah, we was good in that area.
Didn't bend anything out?
Nah, nope.
Because you,
All I
if I
did
remember
was
correctly, you run a glass rod, right?
yeah. Or it's like the composite. It's that Halo, the Canterbury series. It's actually his cranking rod, and it's a 7 foot. Um, so it's got a little bit more backbone. I beefed it up to that 20-pound test, not because I was breaking off, but because I wasn't comfortable pulling as hard as I was, like to freaking keep them from going around that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was insane. It's stupid.
Was it like when you would hook them, was it a just fight and hope that they'll come back at you, or is it like you're on a trolling motor trying to steer them away from everything once you hooked them?
It depended. Like most of the time, I would just winch down. Like honestly, I was trying to get them to come up. I know we hate fish coming up with the jerkbait, but like I have a lot of confidence in my setup, and I wanted them to come to the surface. That way, they wouldn't. Because the more they dug, the scarier it got.
Yeah, you're
So
just trying to keep their heads
I would
up.
just yes, I would just literally winch on them, try to get them to come up, and once they come up jumping, I would crank down harder.
I like it.
It was fun.
What? So you said she was 2 feet on the surface when you actually caught her. And basically, you had to like get the jerkbait to like almost slap her in the face. Like, did you notice anything when you first pulled up that last day when you actually caught her? That if she was acting different, was she moving a little bit more? Or
No,
was it
she
just
was still. I mean, she literally just went from like maybe 4 foot, like on the side of the log, to she was just like perched up, like right above it. So I mean, I guess later in the day she was just sunning. It wasn't. I don't know.
Getting those
It
eggs
was
ready to
magical.
be laid.
Yes. And it didn't do justice, like, how fat she actually was, because I measured it, and, I mean, I was like, "It's 11 whatever. I ain't gotta measure this." And then freaking Marshall told me, he's like, "No, we need to check it just in case." It was barely 24.5 inches. Like,
dang?
almost had to throw it back. It was that fat.
Just to put it in
Nuts.
perspective, so I caught I was heading home from my parents' house in Florida, and I stopped some random freaking pothole lake in Florida near Jacksonville, and I caught my PB, which 7 pounds 8 ounces, and it was 23 3/4. If that gives anybody any perspective of how big that fish was.
You call yourself a lanky one.
And that's the thing. She looked like she had a belly too. So Justin's
That's the thing.
back
It's
home.
not like it wasn't that it just had a belly. It was so tall, like it didn't look real. It was disproportionate. I don't know. It
It
was
was a
just
bowling
taller
ball.
than it was. Yeah, it was insane.
It was a little
'Cause if
Danny
you saw
DeVito,
like
basically.
Revette's, like his was like the same exact length. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it was giant and it had that just giant belly. But dude, we pulled them up like beside each other before we came up on stage just to look at them. And yeah, mine was like just long. I don't know, tall.
Thanksgiving turkey.
Wide.
Yes, it was nuts. Go to Fork.
Awesome.
It's
What did you
fun.
say?
He said, "Go to
Go to
Fork."
Fork.
Go to
It's
Fork.
so fun.
Well, who is it? Is it Brian New that says he hates the lake or something like that? Like he thinks Santee's better? Which Santee, I mean, Santee showed the hell out too for the Open, but
Yeah, but dude, it ain't Fork. Santee's so much fun, but it
that
ain't
was
Fork.
the amount of 30-pound bags that came out of that this week was, or that week was absolutely insane.
I've never caught a 30-pound bag before then either. It's-
Really? That was your first
no,
time?
never. Yeah, and we were going out like that morning. Me and Patrick Walters like roomed together, and we both had like the absolute worst practices you can imagine. Like I caught on day 2 2 fish, and then day 3 of practice 1 fish, and he caught 1 fish on that final day too. And I mean, it was like we don't know what we're doing, where we're going. And I told him, I was like, I don't know, I'm about to go catch 30 pounds. He's like, okay, go for it. It happened.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
willed it into existence, basically.
Exactly. So did you hear I'm going
Like-
to win the classic next week?
I like it.
Yeah. Hey, we're all about that.
Do it up.
Let's go.
I got my flight for Monday morning, so I'm ready to throw down, man.
Yes, sir. Oh, it's going to be fun.
Well,
They eat a jerkbait on that lake too.
yeah, I heard a time or two they like a jerkbait, but
Yeah.
I'm excited. We're gonna dive into classic for sure here in a little bit, but one of the things I'm curious about in a lake that like made 25 to 29 pounds look like you sucked. I'm curious what set people apart from like the people that were in the top 10 or top 20 from the rest. Like it looked like some people were just capable of finding that larger, 6-7 plus caliber fish than the rest of everybody.
Yeah. I'll be honest, it was really hard, like to get bit. And when you got bit, like obviously it was good ones, but like it was like I was catching 6 to 8 feet fish a day. Like it wasn't much, but I think it was more of I was specifically targeting those bigger fish. Like I didn't waste my time on those 3 and 4 pounders. And I think that's where, it just comes down to efficiency.
Yeah.
Being good with the graph and know what I'm looking at and, know what caliber of fish I'm actually targeting
And hoping they bite.
and praying hard that they bite.
A lot of talking to the fish. Eat it, damn it.
Yes. Oh, I yelled at them so much. I don't know how much of that was on live, but I was just pissed off. Because every day I had a lull from like 8:30 in the morning. I would not get a bite until like 1:30. And I don't know what was going on. And apparently it wasn't like that for everybody. Everybody else was slowly doing it all day. But I don't think I've caught a fish all week, like between that time frame.
Huh.
It's weird.
Wow.
How many fish do you think you caught on a day, like per day?
Like 6 to 8.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like you're
not
getting
many.
5-6 bites.
Yeah. It was like, and each day I would lose like 1 or 2 of the right ones.
Oh, dang, really?
And you probably had another 10, 15 follow it all the way to the boat and never commit.
Probably 80 to 100. Like stupid amounts. If you saw me casting, I was casting to a fish. Like 90+% of the time.
That definitely seemed to be like the difference maker for a lot of guys. Was you'd see it like from an efficiency standpoint. Like guys weren't casting now until they saw fish.
Yeah.
It definitely seemed like there was a healthy balance though amongst, let's say, the top 20 of different techniques between whether it's a jerkbait or jig head minnow or guys throwing like Maddie throwing a glide, where some guys were throwing hair jigs. It looked like some guys just even throwing a jig. It seemed pretty diverse, but you stuck with the jerkbait basically the whole thing, right?
I did catch 2 of my big ones off a jig, just flipping bow docks. But I think that goes to why it was so spread out. Like there was still fish way out deep, and I think that's what Taco hit that first day. Those fish were still, further out, but then they just more and more started leaving that, headed to the banks. So that's why I stayed shallow, and they just kept coming to me.
Sounds like you
that's
had
why it was like you could do whatever.
It sounds like you had some lucky jambalaya at Toledo.
Apparently, that was the luckiest jambalaya I've ever had. Yes, sir. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, we were staying at the place right there at Toledo, and yeah, one of the nights during practice, or it might have been during the tournament, he cooked us up, and me and Patrick and Bryant Smith and Alex Weather all went over there and ate with them. Some good old guys.
Hell yeah. Food's always better in the South.
Always.
Dustin Wilkie says that 8-pounder he caught while wearing some lucky bibs, though. There's got to be a story behind this.
Yeah, there's a long story with it when it comes to Wilkie.
Is it one they're allowed to talk about?
Not many of them.
Oh no!
Wait, what happened?
He's frozen.
Justin is
hello.
frozen.
You got it? Hello, let me in.
Hello,
you got you?
Oh, there it is. Apparently, we can't talk about Dustin Wilkie stories.
Yeah, it was frozen on the perfect face. You look super happy.
I'm always super happy. Do you know me?
You are pretty good on live. I will say that. You do bring some entertainment.
Good. I bet it's some dumb entertainment, though.
Yeah. We're fishermen. That's about the only entertainment you're getting. So
yeah. Does that add any pressure to you, like knowing that you're on live, or do you kind of forget about it pretty quick?
I forget about it now. It did like my first couple of years for sure. I was just like, oh, no. Now I just go fishing and like the dude I had, the John, with me as a camera dude, we hit it off good. So now it's like I actually like it better. You actually cutting up with him the whole time. It's pretty fun.
Like when you get guys like consistently camera wise that you know.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I had him at Toledo and whatever. Actually, I had him at St. Lawrence last year too. So yeah, he's from Maine, so I made fun of him the whole time.
Damn
Y'all
Yankees.
Northerners. Damn Yankees.
He's about as far north as you can get too.
Yeah, I'm over there drinking my
US.
sweet tea, and he's like asking me if I do yoga.
What? What?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
I don't know if
"Do I
there's
look
ever a
like
day
I do
where,
yoga.
yeah, I'd question your sanity if I knew you were doing yoga. Are you okay, bro? Is everything all good?
Yeah, something bad wrong.
Well, dude,
man.
wicked fun event to watch. Just watching absolute freaking giants get caught. One last thing on it before we move into classic things like that. What do you think separated from your perspective that Trey was doing that got him that edge in that tournament?
Honestly, I don't know what he was doing. I have no idea. I know where he was at just because like day 3 I went to go in there and there was just armada of boats and it was like I think it was him and Milliken or something but I heard he was doing the same kind of deal, kind of fishing jerkbaits and shallow.
Yeah,
I don't know. But I would say landed like 2 more.
that's one thing I want
When
to.
it seemed
I
to
think
come down.
it would be interesting to. Granted, it's Texas, so maybe it'll get better for him. But who knows with his following as he leaves Texas? But like having a flotilla basically follow you all 4 days, it's got to almost be like you guys in the Classic, where it feels like people following you that much. Because I can't imagine every event you experience that.
Not me. I'm just chilling by myself.
I'd follow you because I know where the good sweet tea's at. I'm trying to get some.
Yeah. I did
Get
have
him some syrup.
there you go. I did have like a few follow me in there. It is kind of tough just because of like we're just going through this timber field, looking on the Panoptics, and these fish, like those fish are smart. So I could, whenever the boat, like if a boat comes over them, even if they're not fishing for them, like it spooks them and sends those fish to the bottom. So like you definitely would have to strategize like how you going into an area, but also they're pretty dang good. Like all the guys that had followed me at least, like if I'd just tell them, about to head that way or something, and the locals like were never an issue. That's a good thing about Fort. Like they were very respectful.
Yeah, that's good. That's the last thing is like anyone would want to be like on top of your fish. But like,
well, there was one guy.
Oh, really?
That final day when I caught that 11-pounder, yeah, he was like, "Oh yeah, that's a giant," and just comes in there and like tries to cut me off. I was like,
a local?
Yeah, or I don't know if they were locals or come from out of town, but they did not care.
Wow,
at all. Yeah. And at this point, they got like 10 other boats, like, back there, like people are like lined on the road and like in the woods because it was literally like right at the takeoff, like behind the takeoff. So like it was in that creek and people like saw me when I caught it. And there's like people running through the woods to watch like me fishing and stuff. And yeah, then these guys just kept
that'd be kind of cool
about
though.
Their day. That was pretty cool.
I bet. Dude, that one picture that rings in my head still is that picture of like 100 boats in this tiny little creek. Well, I think it was Christie, the Hartwell Classic the second one that he lost, like barely, that he was leading for the 2 days. And it's just like an armada of boats in this creek. He's trying to like flip docks. I'd lose my mind, dude.
It was the same way for him at Grand too when Evers one.
It's probably gonna be the same way for him next week.
Yeah, for real. Send everybody come. Follow Kirsty.
Yeah, you're gonna be walking down the dock, but hey, Christy's right here. Christy's right here. You can follow me.
Yeah, follow this guy.
Brutal.
Oh man,
that's got to get in your head a little bit.
It's got to. Like, I know it does me a little bit. I don't know, especially that many. That's like, you gotta think that messes with the fish some.
Just a little
yeah,
bit.
I would think so. Especially like if you're trying to fish docks on the way back out and you're dipping and dodging through boats.
Yeah,
it's gotta be obnoxious.
They know what's up. And just a PSA to everybody: please turn off your live scope if you're like coming to watch us. Turn it off, please.
Turn everything off.
The interference is terrible. Gosh,
that's got to be the most
you from a long ways.
Well, and then speaking of that, Andy and I are actually talking about this earlier. Was this trend now of co-anglers bringing live? That's got to be obnoxious too, because that's interference.
Yeah, there might be a floating Panoptics out in the lake if I could get somebody with that.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, let me help you with that.
It'd be a cooler going down the lake.
We'll get it after the Derby.
Yeah. Better pick a dock you can leave it on or something.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'd be cool with it as long as it didn't start interfering with mine.
So you were experiencing that on Ford?
Yeah. But I mean, after I just ask everybody to cut it off. Toledo was a little bit worse. Those guys are hardcore over there. They like to fish.
On Toledo?
They were all about it. Yeah.
Were you part of that?
They were all
I'm trying to remember what area it was, but the like Zona and them were talking about how like the good giant group of anglers.
I do know. I hate freaking fishing in a crowd. And that's where I was going on day one. And I go to like turn into like the main little deal that everybody was at, and I was like, nope, too many boats for me. And I just went by myself. I just went to some new area and started fishing.
That was
cool.
Toledo day 3 that you're cracking them on a jig, right?
Yeah. And I just did that out of spite of the spinning rod. I ain't gonna lie. I'm tired. Everybody was talking about. Yeah, everybody was talking about live being boring and stuff. It was like everybody doing the same things. I was like, I got a camera. I'm throwing a jig all day tomorrow. I don't care.
You're like, I'm getting paid. I'm gonna throw a damn jig.
Yes. It's like I just went to like new water. If you could tell, I was just by myself, and like I don't know if they ever showed it, but everybody was like up there, and I was like at the dam, just chilling by myself. It was cool.
The replay, I think that was actually one of the power pole replays of the day, was you catching him on a jig at Toledo. And I think it was Zona that was just like, is he throwing a jig? Oh yes. You just cracked on. It was pretty good. It was definitely refreshing, I think, for some people.
I know. I got so many comments on that, like, oh, this is the best. Like, just hearing that line sing when you set the hook. It
old school meets new school. What's up?
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Was that a flipping jig you're throwing or a football?
That's a big old mop jig. Like straight up Davy Heights special.
Love it.
Okay, answer me this, because
I've never caught a fish on a mop jig before then.
Okay, then maybe I won't ask, because I was going to say I've never thrown a mop jig. I threw it for the first time a couple weeks ago in the Carolinas, and I was just like, I'm like rigging one up, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell to do with this thing. Like, what freaking trailer do I even put on it? Like, I just
a big old chunk, just like the old school, just like legit the chunk, super chunk or whatever.
Are you dragging it? Like you working it like a finesse jig? Like how you even?
So the reason I tied that on, I had been like trying to get them to bite a jig, and dude, I would throw the jig at them, they would follow it to the bottom, and then I'd sit there, and then as soon as I start to move it, like they would freak out and swim away. So that mop jig has the living, the rubber.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the rubber, and especially in cold water, it actually like moves around even when you're not moving it. So I was like, well, maybe I can just throw it out there and dead stick it, and that's how I caught them. If I moved the jig at all, it would spook them. So I'd just throw it out there, they'd follow to the bottom, and I'd just hold it tight. Yeah.
And all of a sudden you just feel you're like, oh, yep.
Yeah, you would feel just like your line would just that was it.
Stuck in the jig in.
Yeah,
Awesome.
That's freaking awesome.
Legit never caught one on it before then. I've always like had it in my tackle box. I had like 2 of them. Just had it in there. It's like, I don't know, maybe there'll be a day. And that morning I was like, yeah, this is it.
He just knew it. Leaving the dock, he's like, I'm gonna throw that mop jig today. Game on. Watch this.
Right.
I knew it.
Living right at that point. Like,
no kidding. So how many days did you talk your wife into letting you stay at Fork after that event?
Honestly, I was so tired. I was so ready to get back home. They came, like my family drove that night before to come visit or whatever to come watch the weigh-in. And my dad was like, "Let's go back out there tomorrow." I was like, "If you want to catch a big one," I'm like, "I'm getting like 6 bites a day, Dad." Like,
only day off was what, Sunday of Toledo?
Yeah, and had to travel for 4.5, 5 hours, whatever it was. And then I was stupid and went to another lake that day.
Oh, you went fun fishing?
Milliken. Yeah. Milliken, like, had just caught 50 pounds out of this lake or something. And so he told me where it was. I was like, dude, I've never caught a 10-pounder. I want to go catch a 10. Well, apparently everybody watched this video and there was like 200 and something boats there. It's like a 600-acre lake.
oh no.
Here's
They
your
ran. It was like no, I didn't even have an acre. Oh my gosh.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You just get in line like the old Potomac days. Just going down the grass flats. I heard stories about that. Just get in line, buddy.
Yeah.
Make a cast.
Dude, I already told you I don't like crowds.
Yeah, that's tough.
I don't know many people that do.
Felt like an 8-pounder. I was like, whatever, I'm out.
Yeah. Peace. That's cool, man. So looking ahead at Classic, obviously you got a few under your belt. Did pretty damn good at Hartwell. You feeling that that's going to translate any with Grand?
Not, I feel like I know what to expect more now. Like going into the whole Classic week is just insane with all the media and like just like get sleep when you can because it ain't going to be much. That's for sure. Don't expect sleep. But yeah, like I don't know, kind of more comfortable going into this one. And Grand Lake just seems to set up like so freaking perfect, right up my alley. It's like jerkbait and jig is all you need. My 2 favorite baits. Let's go.
Doesn't sound fun at all.
Ah, it's awful.
Sounds like your fantasy fishing campaign. You're trying to get votes here.
I don't care. Y'all can come on with it. Look, just so I was on Mercer's podcast earlier, whatever.
Yeah.
I guess it's gonna be tomorrow. But yeah, I was already like doing the practice and was like holding the trophy up and all that stuff. Yeah, dude, I don't know why he had me on with. It was me, Van Dam, and Rick Clunn in the same episode.
That's quite the crowd.
Like, I'm in it? Like, what?
You like me?
Did you mean to text me? Yeah.
Yeah, like, I was like, you sure? I mean, I'll do it. No doubt.
That's awesome, dude. So, like, all of you guys together? I mean, obviously, we're going to see tomorrow. Mercer's
No, it was, like, segmented. Yeah.
That's cool, dude.
But I think, like, Van Dam's doing some big announcement, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got some stuff coming that'll be pretty exciting. Yeah. That's cool, man. It definitely, to your point, the whole sleep thing, I think that adds, like, a whole other perspective of impressiveness to what Jordan Lee did his first couple classics, just going in there through all of that as a rook and winning and then going back to back.
Yeah. Anybody that wins a class, like, on paper, it's like, it shouldn't be that bad. It's only 50 whatever guys. But dude, it's a different mindset that everybody has. Like they're just going to win. Everybody's going there to win. And then there's so many more distractions that week. Like fishing is like the last thing you get to think about. It's wild.
Well, yeah, and it's not 50 guys fishing for a check. It's 50 guys that are fishing for something
No.
completely different. There's 50 guys that don't give
Every
a
single one of
damn
them.
if they zero. They'd rather catch,
Yeah.
they'd rather zero than go catch a limit. Well,
Yep.
maybe I can't say that. I mean, I think Gussie would have given anything to catch a limit in the last day classic last year.
Dude, he was begging for it.
Dude, I can't
But,
imagine
I mean, he was
like what was going through his head running back on that third day.
oh my gosh. And how many fish you saw just like come up and like just stare at his bait.
What
Talking about getting
the
pissed off at some fish.
yeah, well, in the amount of 17 inches he caught too.
Oh yeah. Dude.
It's got to be aggravating as hell. No, well, it
That's
wasn't a week like
stressful.
largies were just like biting for everybody else either because the guys are
Yeah.
struggling to catch those too.
That place is tough.
Yeah.
That place ain't easy.
No.
Mm.
Well, dude, I could talk about this whole Texas train for years on end, but classic coming up. When do you practice starts for you guys? What, Friday?
Yep.
When you
Heading
headed down
out
tomorrow, Thursday?
tomorrow. Yeah. Something. I don't know.
You
Sometime.
don't even know yet.
He's just gonna go up and go.
I'm gonna
Figure
roll
out
the
when we
classic
get
go
there.
practice. We'll show up. Local derby. Yeah.
Yeah. Easy. I mean, that's what's crazy. Our practice is like we practice Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the tournament doesn't start until next Friday. So it's like, yeah, just look around the lake, kind of get a feel, but don't think you're gonna have your like starting spot or something figured out.
Probably gonna change 7
Unless you're
times
Christy.
between next Friday.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it's March. Like 70-degree days are expected. Yeah, there's a lot going to change.
Yeah, we got our it looked interesting. I was doing a little bit of pre-prep for our fantasy show. It's gonna be interesting week for you guys, but fun nonetheless. And yeah, I mean, I think Christy being the
So
hard
when are you
worker
coming
he is,
down?
I'll be down Wednesday.
Oh, sorry.
So you'll see me bothering you at media day.
Okay, good. Maybe we can like sneak off to one of them lakes, like
Yeah.
in Texas or something.
There's me. Look, anybody
Take
seen
David
Justin
Carey?
Hamner anywhere?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he's fishing.
It's like he's doing media. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. I need to borrow Justin for the whole media day. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, 10 Killer's pretty
Anybody
close
wants
to
to take
there,
a
isn't
picture,
it?
come on.
Yeah, they're having that kayak
no.
championship on 10 Killer, but you can run them
No,
over.
we gotta get Bailey a big one.
Yeah, I can't catch those things. Good luck.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It's
Either way.
Do the old handoff. I got him. Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have mine, have yours.
I finally catch one double-digit bass. I'm like, dude, it's nothing.
Easy.
Come on.
Well, so quick funny story about that. My personal best smallmouth was 6 pounds, 14 ounces. And it was in Andy's boat. We're with Sean from X2. And we were literally farting around like because we were catching a bunch of fish. And we were catching like a bunch of like 4.5, like close to 5s. And like I was literally just joking with Sean, like saying I'm gonna give him the rocks. I leaned into this one. I'm like joking with him, oh, you want to reel it in? Because he lost a couple. And then it comes up and jumps. I'm like, nope, this is mine.
I saw it coming up on Mega Live, and I was like, dude, that's a giant. And Bailey's like, no, it's fighting like a 3-pounder. I'm like, no, it's big. I'm like, here comes the jumps.
I wish
like,
Sean would have took
oh
that
my
from
God.
you.
Yeah. That's what you're joking about. It's like, imagine I actually gave you the rod. It's this 7-pound smallmouth.
Yeah, no biggie. Catch those all the time, right?
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, dude,
fun.
I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Obviously, watching you compete, but looking drive safe. Yeah, get over to the classic. Get ready to keep practicing, holding that trophy, and we'll be rooting for you, buddy.
I appreciate y'all. If y'all need anything, I'll be there.
Yes, sir. With some sweet tea, I hope.
You dang right. Thank you.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a good night.
See you.
Always a good time with Mr. Justin Hamner. Dude, I think a guy like him that is always so positive, at least from our perspective, that's just like, I just want to go freaking fishing, have fun. I think there's an advantage there, like in regards to from a fishing, from at least that
no
level.
stress.
Yeah, literally no stress. He's like, screw these damn spinning rods. I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna throw a mop jig, and I've never thrown it once in my life. We'll make it work.
If people could see, I should have added him live when he's doing that crap. If people could see what's going on down there in the queue. Oh, that's good. It's a perfect example. Exactly what I was just talking about. But either way, always a good time with Mr. Hamner, and being the jerkbait aficionado that he is. Like I told you guys in the intro, we have a jerkbait bracket challenge that we're going to do here. We got two fellas that are joined here. We got a quick message from X2, but we got Mr. Tyler Berger, Mr. Kobe Koenig from Wire to Fish that are going to be joining us. But we'll be back here after a quick message from X2 Power.
In the world of battery power, a word to the wise: compromise elsewhere.
All right, we are back, and we are going to dive into our part 2 of the show, the jerkbait bracket challenge. And let's bring him on here one at a time. And being that he's never been on the show yet, we'll give him his time to shine here. He's a good pal of mine from Minnesota, Mr. Kobe Koenig. What's going on, dude?
What's up, boys? How's it going?
Good evening.
What's going on, man? Are you coming live from Wire to Fish HQ?
Yep, hard at work here.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Hard at work or hardly working?
Well, yeah, depends on how you look at it.
What are you doing 8 p.m. still working? You freaking grinding away or what?
No, I'm actually making a 30 spot for my dad. He's got an open house boat show in a couple weeks, so he's got me working overtime.
Yeah, okay, so he's got
you
you
getting
staying
paid for this. Yeah.
Yeah. No overtime, no nothing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, dude, for this, obviously I needed somebody that one has fished a bunch of different baits. And one, thank you, because it was total last minute. I think it was an hour and a half ago I maybe texted you like, hey, any chance you're free tonight? Because we had a couple guests bail. And I'm like, dude, I need somebody that knows a bunch of baits and knows their stuff, because I think he kind of been flying under the radar. If anybody from Minnesota knows, is that if they see Kobe pull up to the ramp, there's going to be some trouble. But so it's gonna be one, it's good finally get you on the show. But two, I appreciate you hopping in here, and it's gonna be fun doing a little bracket challenge with you.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Heck yeah. So let's bring in our second guest for tonight, a good friend of the show, no stranger, Mr. Tyler Berger. What's going on, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
Good,
Oh, man.
Yeah. Sorry if I sound a little congested. It's because I am, and have been running 103 fever for like 6 days. So,
Jeez. You
yeah.
got that
You could have
vid?
said no to coming on the show. You could have been like, hey, dude, I feel
Hey,
like
I got ibuprofen in me, so I'm good to go now. So it's
We're on
lower.
the clock.
It's under 100 at least right
Oh,
now.
jeez. That's
we're good.
awful.
We're good.
So
But-
wait, the things you sent me today, were you fishing day through all that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Grinder. Yeah, we got two grinders on here, Andy.
Well, today was like a rare, like usually I always have a video camera on me of some sort, GoPro. And sometimes like I had like a 2-hour time block where I couldn't start on a new project because it was like not enough time. And I'm like, I just want to go fish and like no camera stuff. And so that's what I did. And then I was like, dang it, I wish I had a camera. You know, because you catch a couple, or I had a couple of really good mega live shots that I could have got, and I'm like, didn't get them, but you know how it is.
Always happens.
Always.
You'd think that I'd be around the camera, but I can't stand around the camera.
No, they're the worst.
Not when I'm fishing.
Yeah, they are the worst.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it until literally it hit me just now, but we got two freaking media powerhouses in the bass fishing space right here. If you guys follow Wire to Fish at all, there's a good chance the bulk of what you're seeing is from Kobe right here. And it's we've shared a boat of a good time or two. I think you definitely enjoy the time when you don't have to run a GoPro. You just kick back. Yeah, you go run the boat. You do your thing.
Exactly.
You guys know, seriously though, really quick, for the Wired to Fish team, getting to work with you guys past couple years through work stuff, it is incredible the team of grinders you guys have putting together. Like between you and Nick and Kyle, like you guys freaking get after it. I mean,
kind of have to in this line of work. It seems like, I mean, especially where we're located. I mean, up in northern Minnesota, we're a bit isolated from the rest of the bass fishing world. Down in the southeast for the most part, so we're always on the road and getting after it. But no, it's been a pleasure working with you over the last couple of years.
Well, yeah, and it takes because for people that may not know, you're a giant fish head, and it takes a lot of, I think, patience and willpower for any of us to sit back all day with a camera and not even make a single cast. Like I remember the first trips with like you and Nick. I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, are you sure you don't want to fish like a little bit? You're like, oh no, I gotta film this. And I'm like, power to you, man. I couldn't do it.
Eat me alive.
Yeah, those do make the best cameraman though, the big fish heads though, because they know what people want to see because they're wanting to watch it, so it does make for the best camera guy.
Yeah, and you kind of need an eye for it as well, just to kind of anticipate what's going on. I can see how somebody who's not familiar with it could get super behind the 8 ball, and miss a jump or, miss this or that, not get what the viewer wants to see. So that's definitely beneficial, I think.
I think my new drinking game will be when I watch Brandon Polnick's channel and the amount of times he complains that Kyle misses a shot because he's doing something different.
It's not the easiest thing.
No, seriously, it's not. Especially when you're thinking about how long of a day it is. I mean, shoot. Yeah, but at least like you guys get to go on some pretty dang cool trips. I will say that. You get to,
definitely.
I don't know what the career path looks like, but that's definitely setting you up at least to be pretty well rounded angler wise.
Yeah, I enjoy it, especially up where we're at. Multi-species is huge, so I'm sure we'll dive into that a bit too with the jerkbait stuff, because it's not just bass that we're targeting with the jerkbaits.
Right. I mean, you guys do content from like Lakers and walleyes to ice.
Everything.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. Well, so here's what we're gonna do. So I have 10 different jerkbaits in a bracket here. But so what I've learned through doing this a couple times, we had this new concept for 2024, adding a second part here where it's more like we'll do a little bit of like learning and like bass fishing talk. But we're gonna have some more fun with it. But I learned through the glide bait episode we did that I should probably run the baits by our guests first, being that they're the more experts than I am. So I'm going to show you guys
to add some as well.
Like that's what I'm saying. I'm going to show them the list and be like, hey, is there any glaring ones that I have missed? Because if people that know me, I'm not the biggest tackle junkie. I'm really easy that guy to sell tackle to, but like I don't know everything that exists. So I'm going to share screen the bracket that we have here. And you guys tell me, hey, moron, add this to the bracket before we get started. So let me bring this up here. All right. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So to read down through for the MP3 folks is we have in no particular order. I'm going to randomize this before we get started, but we got the Berkeley Stunna, the Vision 110, Yozuri's 3DB jerkbait, the Duo Realis jerkbait. We got the Strike King KVD Elite, the Spro McStick, Rapala's new Maverick, Smithwick Rogue, Shimano World Minnow, and then the Lucky Craft Pointer. What am I missing, if any?
Oh boy,
I feel like
13 have one.
A Loco Special.
Loco Special.
That in there because I know a lot of guys use that in Florida. It sounds like.
Yep.
How do you spell that? Is it CO or KO?
Like that. Yep.
Local Special. All right. Anything else I'm missing? Off top of mind. Let's see. In the chat too, guys, feel free to throw that out. Jackal. Yeah.
Jackal,
wow. Oh my gosh. What a horrible one to miss.
People probably say Jackal. People probably say 6 cents Provoke.
Yeah,
I don't think that's on there.
I literally have that on my list, and I didn't add it to the bracket. See, guys, this is where I was talking about me running late. This is what happens.
You can kind of go JDM, do like an OSP Verona. Verona. Did I say that right? VARUNA. Is that it?
You say it however you want.
Yeah, there you go.
What is it?
Verona. I don't know how to spell it.
This is what happens when you like are super last minute on these things.
Yeah.
OSP. Wait.
I know it starts.
All right, I got it. There we go.
Yeah. I was pretty close.
I know a bunch of guys actually use that and don't talk about it. All right. So we got 14 different jerkbaits in there. Is there anything else we're missing here?
I mean, oversized jerkbaits. A lot of guys are throwing a Kanata.
I try to keep it like to that 110.
110. Yeah. I mean, I see you got the 110 SP. I got a 130 in front of me. I know a lot of guys are throwing this too.
It definitely seems like that is a trend.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hashtag idea for content for Wire to Fish and Bass Fishing HQ. And Lure Lab, Andy. JK.
I'm trying to think of.
I think we're good there.
I think almost every brand has a jerkbait, but I feel like those are.
Then you have the new Bill Lewis scope stick.
Yeah, this thing.
Yeah.
Should we add that?
I wasn't gonna add it just because of my experience, but that
sounds like.
Have you thrown that? I haven't even thrown. We have some in the back, but I haven't thrown it.
I have thrown it a little bit. I mean, it's just a big. I mean, it's a bigger profile jerkbait. They say you're supposed to be able to see it better on the scope, but I feel like it's not substantial. So, a little taller than anything.
We'll randomize the crap out of this thing. Andy, tell me stop.
Stop.
Okay, that's what we're gonna rock with.
Who got to buy?
Who got to buy? You got Duo and 6 cents.
That's a pretty rough buy.
Yeah, I think if
the Provoke ain't bad.
The Provoke's good. I do like the Provoke.
Big fan.
All right, so it's pretty simple, but just for everybody that's tuning in, it's their first time doing a bracket challenge or whatever. I think you guys kind of get the gist, but we'll go through with each of these, and basically it's between Ty, you, Kobe, and Andy, between the three. So we have that way we have a vote that can beat the tiebreaker. We'll go through, and at the end for each matchup, and we'll obviously at the end have a final winner. So it'll be interesting to see the different matchups we have. Feel free to dive into why you think one's better than the other. But I think what we'll do is the idea throughout this is just simple fish catchability, like whether that's just numbers. We're not going after like fish that or baits that might catch bigger fish. Just simple, your confidence in that bait over another to simply go out and just catch a bass. Does that work for you guys?
Sure.
Cool. All right. So let's kick this thing off. Let me zoom in here for people. Can I get rid of it? Oh, here we go. There we go. Now we're talking. All right. So let's start off. We have the buy. 6 cents gets the first round buy. So we'll start with the 9th seed and the 8th seed. We got the Jackal Re-Range versus the OSP Varuna. Ty, we'll go with you. We'll work up from bottom to top.
So I'll make this particular one easy for me because I don't have any experience with the OSP bait. So I have thrown the Jackal Revenge. So I'm going to have to go with that because it's just the one that I like the best. I like a lot of Jackal baits, but I also like a lot of OSP baits. But I'm going to go with the Revenge.
All right. Kobe?
I'm in the same boat. I have not thrown that OSP. That re-range, obviously, castability is huge with a jerkbait. That one has great castability. So just for that reason alone, I'll go with the re-range.
I think re-range wins the bracket for giving you the amount of heart attacks in a day thinking you've broken something.
I'll never forget.
Yeah, it's a little scary. Maybe that's a negative, yeah.
I remember the first time I threw that thing, dude, I was like, damn it, I just broke this new rod. And I'm like, wait, what is going on here?
Like, I think Megabass even has like that LBO technology that makes a similar noise, but it's more dull.
It's nothing like the re-range. The re-range is, it's frightening.
It sounds like your line is like snapping or something every single cast.
Dude. I'll never forget the first cast, and it feels weird too because you can almost feel it if you have a sensitive enough stick. You can almost feel that weight transfer jump as you cast. It's a really weird feeling. But yeah,
what's your vote for it, Andy?
Re-range. I love the re-range, especially when the water gets warmer.
Yeah, I know a few guys that are diehard re-range fans. They'll throw it over everything. Like Zach Hall, who catches the living crap out of him, big re-range guy. Okay, we got the 5th seed against the 12th seed here. We got the Spro mixed stick versus the Yozuri. We got Ty.
To me, I think the Spro mixed stick is going to be my vote here. These ones are, I feel like, fairly close in my opinion. The big thing with the Spro is I feel like it's been around so long that people kind of forgot about it. It really was. I'd love to know what the date was that Mike McClellan came up with that. But I think it was
like 2011. It was my second or third year tournament fishing, and I had some mixed sticks, and they worked good.
Yeah, this. I actually brought one out right here. I mean, this thing is chewed.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
it's this thing to this.
Up here.
Well, to this day, if I can't get bid on any other jerkbait, I still pick the Spro up, this one right here, even though it's because I have caught so many dang fish off this bait, and I don't even know what it is action wise. If it's that much different than most jerkbaits, it doesn't seem to be. As far as the action in it, the weight transfer is decent. I don't think it's the top end, but I think it's decent. So I'm going with Spro.
That bait you got there, Ty, is nearing that point in its bait's life where you might need to hang it up because it's
its own frame,
yeah.
glass frame.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
How many fish do you think you caught on that one bait alone?
I don't know, dude. This was, I guarantee I've had this since it came out. I think this is one of the first jerk baits that I can remember buying and being like, oh, I spent a lot of money on a jerk bait. I don't even know what these are now. I haven't bought one for a while, but what are they? $10, $12?
I think they're $15.99 now. When they came out, they were $12.99 in 2011.
Okay. That makes And I remember thinking holy cow, I spent some Lucky Craft type money on this particular jerk bait. But I have also went swimming for this jerk bait on a couple of docks. So
on a couple occasions.
Don't blame you.
Yep.
Well, so the mixed stick right now, original price is $14.99, but fun fact for folks, it's on sale for $10.29 on Omnia Fishing right now.
Oh, now I need to go buy some.
Let's
go.
go.
There you go. Link is down below if you want to go grab it. All right. What you got, Kobe?
I'm also gonna go with the mixed stick. Proven fish catcher. We've used it a lot for smallmouths, cold water. Recently, I brought a second monitor here. I do have it pulled up.
Let me blow you up here.
After this.
Oh, some good action.
So you can note it doesn't have as much side-to-side action as some other jerkbaits on the market. It's more just straightforward, and then it does have a bit of a rise. But it seems like in the colder water, less side-to-side action can be better. Whether, I don't know if they just don't want to hunt as much or if they just want something kind of pulled straight ahead. But mixed stick. I have thrown the 3DB a little bit as well. But I would say I have thrown the mixed stick more and caught more fish on it.
See, people, this is what happens when you get the best of the best media guys. He literally has a recording of the mixed stick underwater ready to go.
I have underwaters in most of these baits. I think we got 300 jerkbait clips. So maybe I'll pull up a couple more as we go through.
So who has to volunteer as tribute for the cold water underwater filming for you guys?
We're in a rotation.
Yeah. It's not an intern thing. You don't make the newbies go do it.
Yeah, no, that used to be my job. I've upgraded since then. No, I still have to go out plenty. Well, actually, I think we actually have to go film underwaters tomorrow. So we'll see if we can find some water. Yeah,
in Minnesota.
Yeah, we have some open water creeks and stuff that we'll have to go film underwaters in. But
Jeez.
yeah,
What do you got?
gold.
The wire to fish scuba class? Like what? You guys
Kyle's certified. Yeah, Kyle's certified. I'm not. But
So
Wetsuit it up, baby. Like just
yeah,
get
exactly.
in.
No, we'll just be in waders. We'll be in like 3-4 feet.
I'm gonna
That sounds
call
terrible.
Todd tomorrow. Todd's actually been on Business from the Bass Boat before. And just be like, hey, what does a job opening at Wire to Fish look like? What are the requirements? Ability to film, edit, and hold breath underwater. Like,
Yeah,
what is?
pretty much.
That's awesome. All right, Andy, round us out.
Mixed stick. I used to throw them all the time before I decided to spend $25 on a Vision 110. So, and they've caught tons of smallmouth for me.
Justin Hamner is a Yozuri guy. We're gonna get some hate for no love for the Yozuri, which it does catch him. Him and Birch throw that pretty good. Also, I know
Isn't
I
that
want to
one?
get somebody that's thrown the OSP before, because I know there's a handful of guys that are jerkbait boys that throw that.
Clients that fishes the GMR in Ohio throws the OSP Verona a lot. He likes it a ton.
I think Cobb won the Lake Fork tournament years ago in part because of that bait, and now you got Hamner with the third place, so maybe it's a Lake Fork bait.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't know that he was throwing an OSP back then.
Oh, not the OSP. He was
Yozuri.
throwing the
Oh. Sorry. Went right over my head. All right. Next round, we got the 4th seed with a 13th seed. We got the Rapple of Maverick against the 13 Fishing Loco Special.
Same company. Going against each other.
Ooh.
What you got, Ty?
So this one, I'm just gonna have to trust you guys because I have not fished either of these. So I can't say either one. Maverick is
Kobe
my
might have
son's
the lone.
name, so you know.
Yeah. Kobe might be the only one that's thrown these.
Yeah.
I've thrown one of them.
Okay. I've fished both of them quite a bit. Loco Special, Wheeler and Connell really like it. What was that? Was that can't remember. A couple years ago, what lake was that?
Harris?
No. Why am I blanking here? Alabama Georgia line.
Oh,
Eufaula. Connell
Yeah.
Connell won a tournament on the Loco Special on Eufaula.
was it Redcrest, the one he won?
It might have been. Yeah.
So he's got $300,000 on that bait.
Yeah. So I know that those guys really like it. I haven't fished that one quite as much as I've fished the Maverick. Fished the Maverick quite a bit over the last couple of years. And those guys really like it as well. It's got just a typical jerkbait action. I don't think there's any like outlining specialties about it. It's just this really solid jerkbait. They got pretty sweet colors. I actually have one in the box right here for anybody that has not seen one before.
Yeah.
Super sticky trebles on it. Comes with red line trebles.
They got the new red lines on?
Yep, they do. I think those Loco Specials came with triple grips, I want to say.
I believe so.
So both have solid trebles on them, but I'd probably gear towards the Maverick, just having fished it a little bit more, but that Loco Special I know has caught some bass as well.
Have you seen the Loco Special under the water?
Yeah.
I gotta imagine with the name Loco, like I feel like what that means crazy in Spanish or something. I don't know. I feel like it should be shooting all over the place, but I'm just curious.
And I'll tell you, like, I have a buddy that has whooped me with a Loco Special when I've gone out fishing with him.
Really?
And I'm just
Like, Kobe, was your vote for Maverick then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to break the tie, Bailey, because I'm going Loco Special just because I've seen its power.
Ooh.
Well, that thing moves. Oh no, that's just a camera.
Oh,
That
yeah.
looks,
And it's got the shimmy.
it's got good shimmy.
Yeah. So that's a bit more side to side action than like
That's
that
sinking,
mixed
too?
stick.
That looks like
It's-
the Stunna sink rate.
This one looks like a slow sink. Yeah. It could also just be the angle of the camera, but Yeah, so a bit more side to side action.
Yeah. Huh. All right, Ty, do you got any horse in the race on either of these?
I mean, like I said, I haven't fished either of them, so I mean, I like hearing the stories about the baits, but I can't say one or another.
Is a 13? Do you guys know? Is that a sinking? I've never thrown that one.
I don't remember.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it's marketed as that. No.
Well, I'm gonna throw my vote then at the Maverick because since the whole Hank Cherry spiel on a sinking or slow sinking jerkbait, I'm kind of on board with that, and just being able to reach certain depths that some other jerkbaits can't if they're floating.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on board with that train.
Well, according to our boys over at Berkeley, though, they said that there's actually no such thing as a suspending jerkbait. So all these jerkbaits that are labeled this way, you know, they know the exact temperature of the water, they know the exact weight of the hooks when they put them on and all that stuff. But as soon as that changes, as soon as you throw a big cast with fluorocarbon on, like they're all going to have a lot of times sinking action to them. So
it's actually insane, like what paint will do to a jerkbait. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, I think that's something that people don't really think about. That's like super nitty gritty, and it's crazy how something like that, where you just pick the one wrong one, and it can change your whole purchasing behavior of buying a whole brand's line of jerkbait.
Or you buy 5 of the same color, and all 5 of them run differently, no matter what brand you buy.
Yeah,
Because that happens a lot too.
it's the unique part about it. Those are the ones that get bit.
yeah. All right, so this next one is actually pretty interesting. We got, I guess, kind of old school, new school. Smithwick might be the only one in this entire bracket that doesn't come good with stock hooks right off the get-go. But we got third seed against the 14th seed with the Mega Bass Vision 110 versus the Smithwick Rogue. This will be an interesting one. What you got, Ty?
So to me, these two baits are just kind of vastly different. And when I think of the Smithwick Rogue a lot, I mean, they have a suspending version. They also have like a floating version that I probably have fished the most is the floater. It casts like crap for the most part, but
Helicopter.
yeah, that thing catches some serious fish. Like to me, it's a warm water type bait. I'm going to work it pretty fast. And then you have the Vision 110. I mean, good Lord, that's got to be the Cinco of these baits here. Like that's got to be the one that's caught the most fish. So to me, it's hard because they're actually more like, I feel like I just fish them differently, but I'm going to go with the Vision 110. I mean, it's a bait I literally have tied on all the time anymore. And so I do have some Smithwicks laying around. But yeah, I'm going with Vision 110.
We got a comment here from Anthony Geist that says Smithwick's cast like a popsicle stick.
You need a good back breeze to carry that thing any distance, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
All right, Kobe, what you got?
I'm also going to go with the Vision 110. The Smithwick, I don't know if it's a little bit before my time or what. I haven't thrown it all that much. I've just shot a couple underwaters of it. I know how effective it has been over the years, especially in southern fisheries. Texas, Oklahoma, Florida, guys really like it. Is it because it's a bigger bait, bigger profile, or the action? I don't know. But I throw 110 personally. I know a lot of guys down south have actually started to get away from the 110s just because everybody's been throwing them. But up here, Minnesota, we have Cheeto eaters, so they still like it.
Cheeto eaters that eat a $25 bag of Cheetos. Love it.
The Pike do too. The Pike will love them.
Oh yeah, love them here in New York as well.
Yeah.
The first time I heard Cheeto eaters, it was Brad Rutherford from Pure Fishing. We went up to Spirit Lake because we were touring the Berkeley lab. He goes, "Hey, want to go fish for some Cheeto eaters later?" And I'm like, "Cheeto eaters? What are you talking about?" He goes, "Northern fish. They're Cheeto eaters. They eat anything." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that makes
Hilarious.
sense." Glad that's a Minnesota thing too.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, round us out here.
Unanimously, it has to be a 110 because I have more 110s in my box, but I do have some very fond memories of throwing a rattling rogue, suspending rattling rogue. That I think my first 2 tournament fish I ever caught came on a Smithwick rattling rogue. So yeah, like I have some really good memories. The old chrome black with the orange belly. It's a good color.
Oh, yeah.
Are they pretty loud? The rattling? No.
No.
not
I
too
mean, they're
loud.
not. I don't feel like they're as loud. Like that's. Can you hear that?
Yeah. No, I would say that's not too terrible actually.
Compared to some of these other baits.
Some jerkbaits are just so freaking loud.
I don't think anything beats a re-range. Yeah.
No.
I don't know if there's one that tops that. But all right. So it's definitely been a pretty straightforward bracket thus far. We haven't had any tiebreakers needed just yet. So we'll see on this next one. We got the 11th versus 6th. We got the Strike King KVD Elite versus the Lucky Craft Pointer. Ty, what you got?
So this one's kind of a little bit difficult for me again because of it. Like when I think of Lucky Craft Pointer, the one that I like is I think it's the 100. It's a little bit smaller 2-hooked version. And I've caught a lot of fish on that one when it's like, here in Ohio and we're targeting small fish a lot. I feel like that thing I've caught so many fish on that. So that's what I'm thinking of when I think of the Lucky Craft Pointer, not their bigger 3-hooked version.
Which is what the 128, I think, is their 3-hooked one.
I think that's right. So, but the Strike King KVD, I mean, that's a bait that's just like, I don't know. It's standard. It's inexpensive as far as jerkbait goes. It's like there's so many Strike King products that I tell people, like, if you're getting into fishing, just pick up a Strike King because they're not that expensive and you can catch fish on them. And obviously, I mean, how much money has Van Dam won on a jerkbait? I mean, so man, it's hard to me with these ones. I'm not gonna lie. I got the pointer in my head, so I'm just gonna say pointer because I'm thinking of that little pointer 100.
All right, Kobe, what you got?
I'm gonna go with the Strike King KVD. That's just kind of what I grew up fishing, similar to what Tyler said. Just a great price point jerkbait. As a kid growing up, that was before I started spending my life savings on 110s. That's what I would buy. Yeah. Yep. That guy right there. It's just solid. There's nothing too difficult about it. Cast good enough. They have both a deep and a shallow version, which I really liked. It's a solid jerkbait for not a whole lot of money. So that's where my confidence is at here.
Was that the Sexy Shack color too, Ty?
No, this is it's like an olive back shad, I think it's called. It has more of that greenish hue. I can't remember the exact color of it. But yeah.
This guy's got every single jerkbait on hand right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, he's got all the baits on hand. You got all the freaking media clips from underwater. So what happens when you get the media armada from the fishing industry on one of these deals.
I love it.
Let's see. Oh boy, we got some of my college buddies getting in the chat here. You guys can enjoy that.
Oh boy.
They can enjoy that.
That's good.
Yeah. All right, Andy, break the tiebreaker here.
I have more experience with a pointer, especially like when I think of it. I have the deep diving version of them right here in my hand. I got Sexy Shad colored and then like this all bone pearled one. I've caught quite a few fish on as well. Yeah, I love pointers. Along with the Rogue, the pointer was like I think the second jerkbait I ever owned, and I've probably caught just as many fish on a pointer as I have a 110. So, and then you can even add in like a Stacey, which is that same Lucky Craft line, which is a really good northern jerkbait that gets down there.
Forgot about that one.
All right. First tiebreaker we've had to have. All right, on to the 7th and the 10th seed. We got the Shimano World Minnow and the Berkeley Stunner. What you got, Ty?
I don't have a tremendous amount of experience with the Shimano bait. I have thrown it. but not a lot. More or less, it was rigged up on someone else's rod, and I picked it up just to feel it. So I'm gonna have to go with the Berkeley 110. I mean, the Stunna. I mean, it's been probably my number one jerkbait over the last 2-3 years. Really, ever since they came out, I started using them a lot. So I'm definitely going with the Berkeley Stunna on this bait. It's just a solid bait. I like the deeper version. I use it primarily. So
Was that the 112 plus one?
yes, 112 plus one.
Now, here's the question: are you actually throwing that blaze though?
I just got this, so this is not the one I typically throw. I throw this one.
Great fish.
Yeah,
He's gonna be a Phenom shed or a Tennessee shed guy.
This is, I think, the Tennessee
I'm wrong.
shad.
Oh, is that a one-eyed jack?
This is a one-eyed jack. Yes.
Oh, he knows his stuff.
One-eyed jack is the deal. I've got 3 of them, and I love them. They're the best rod.
Yep.
All right, Kobe, what you got?
I'm also going to go with the Stunna. I'm kind of in the same boat. I haven't thrown that World Minnow a ton. It looks sweet. Concept's really cool. Surprisingly, we haven't shot any underwaters with that technology with the flash. Should probably get on that. But yeah, that's Stunna, and especially the deep version. I really like that deep version. It's got really great action. And again, not going to like break the bank. Do you know what they retail? It's like 15 or 16 bucks.
It's $12.99.
I thought it was $12.99.
Is it less than? Okay, yeah. I mean, that's a solid jerkbait for not a whole lot of money. I mean, half the price of a 110. So
You got sorry, it's $14.99.
14. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so that flash disc, I'm actually really intrigued on that. Like one from the jerkbait stand, I've thrown it a little bit. I'm more intrigued on that from like put it in their popper. That popper they have, especially like clear water.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Like just dead stick and a popper could be. I'm thinking like spawn.
Blue.
Spot, yeah.
Blue. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't talk about poppers, man.
Yeah, you and Andy get all riled up.
That's right.
I love popper fishing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Anthony, guys corrected us. It's not flash disc, flash boost. That is the
Flash
technology, not flash disc.
You're right.
Yeah, close enough.
Sorry. No, for real. Thanks for the correction, though.
I would like to see it underwater. I'm sure it's cool.
I want to say Josh Douglas has an underwater video. I don't know if that's like from Shimano or not, but like I think he shared that out a long time ago when they first dropped that. I could be wrong, but all right, round us out, Andy.
Stunna. I haven't thrown the World Minnow at all, and I picked it up in the store like when I've walked into a store that has it, and I'm like, I should put it in the cart, and then I take it back out, and I'm like, if I buy one, it's gonna be the popper, like, and then usually the popper's sitting there, and then I just forget to grab it. So,
all right, moving on to the second round, we got first seed, the 6 cents provoke against the Jackal Re-Range. What you got, Ty?
I'm going the provoke on this one. Like you said, re-range scares you a little bit to cast it, but I mean, they both catch them. I mean, that's the thing that's going to stink about this next round. All these jerkbaits catch them, but the next round we've already narrowed it down, so it is going to give it a little bit more difficult. But I do like the provoke. The colors on both these are pretty good. I do like the colors that 6 Cents has a lot. I mean, I think that's one of their. That's just one of the things they do well. So
yeah. What you got, Kobe?
I'm gonna go with the re-range. Not too much more to say about it. I've definitely fished the re-range more than I have that provoke. I think I've only been the boat like one time with that provoke, so I actually have not caught a bass on it. So that's the reason I'm going with the re-range.
that's a good reason.
They both seem like that provoke seems like a great jerkbait though too.
Yeah, I think if we wanted to go like full in-depth, like each junior and larger size jerkbait, I think a good honorable mention would be like that new I'm trying to remember the model name, but it's the Provoke Junior that they have, the silent one that they just dropped. Milliken's been pumping the crap out of it, but that thing's freaking legit. It kind of rivals the Vision 110 Junior +1. That's a nasty little jerkbait too.
They're talking about the Provoke DD 97 or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because they have like kind of like their version of a junior.
It's a 3-hooked 4-inch bait, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That thing's legit.
It's hard to
all right,
find
Andy.
a jerkbait with 3 hooks that's that small.
Yeah. Yep.
So when I traditionally throw a jerkbait, the water's under like 55 degrees, and I think a provoke just works a little bit better for me when the water's colder. So I'm going provoke.
So I'm laughing at these comments
Yeah.
from my college buddies in
You
here.
should put your college teammates in a bracket.
Put them in a bracket. I don't know if we put that live on a podcast, but
It's good.
we got a bunch of them in here. Oh, that's funny. Has anybody? Yeah, I've got another one. My buddy Noah says, anybody check the credibility of it? There's zero credibility. I think Kobe and Ty have the only credibility in this show.
No way.
All right, Andy. Break the tiebreak here.
I already did. Provoke.
Oh, you did? Oh, shoot. What was it?
Provoke. 6
Okay.
cents. Yeah.
This is where my head's at. You got me all spun out here. All right. We got the 4th and the 5th seed. The Spro Mixed Stick versus the Rapala Maverick. So I think I pronounced Rapala to 2 different ways already in the same show. What is it? What do they say it in Minnesota, Kobe? How do they say Rapala?
Rapala. Yeah.
What do you say, Ty?
I've always said Rapala.
Haven't they put out a commercial like the 3 different ways you can say
Rapala.
Rapala?
Swindle's the only one that I know that says Rapala.
Rapala.
I'm
It
so
sounds
all over the
old.
board, dude. I think it's just
Rapala.
the day of the week and I say it different.
They do have great commercials.
They do. The recent one they had with Connell and Wheeler with
The drive-through one? You like
that
that one?
one was pretty
Yeah.
good. If feed him too much, he's gonna go under the log.
Yeah. You guys remember their like super old school one where they all prayed? Like they sat there holding their Rapalas, praying over on the side of the water before they went out. It's like,
Yeah.
well, it was old school. It was a good one.
They have great billboards too here in Minnesota, like really funny ones.
Really?
Yeah. Good marketing.
I'm currently getting made fun of in the comments. Saying I got my trophies. Yeah.
You know it's bad when Anthony Geist starts jumping in.
Yeah. Well, Anthony would get along with these guys. It'd be
Oh, yeah.
perfect.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Ty, kick us off before we go down that rabbit hole.
So I'm going with the mixed stick because I do not have experiments with the Rapala.
Yeah. Now I forget how I even say it. I'm just gonna call it I'm not gonna avoid the name.
The Rapala.
Yeah. What you got, Kobe?
I'm also going to go with the mixed stick. It's just proven. That Maverick's a great bait, but mixed sticks won a ton of money over the years. I got to go with that one. It's been out longer.
Yeah.
For a bait to be that old and still catching them, like, it's special.
What do you guys know offhand what they come with hook wise? Is it
They're
gammies?
probably gammies.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably now.
I just don't know which one. I don't know if it's
I know the originals when they came out, they were not the greatest, but they're
Is it
probably gammies.
black nickel round bends, probably.
Exactly like they all did back in 2010.
Yeah. All right, Andy, add your 2 cents to this one.
Mixed stick.
It's not even.
I haven't thrown the Maverick, so the Rapala Maverick, I haven't thrown it yet. So, yeah, I'm just commenting on Zachary Healy down in our comments.
Yeah, Zach's a turd. He's gonna ignore him. All right, we got the 3rd seed and the 6th seed. We got the Vision 110 versus the Lucky Craft Pointer.
I'm gonna have to go with the Vision 110 here. It's just been so many fish caught on it, kind of like the mixed stick, just such a proven bait. And even though everybody owns one and they cost so much, it still catches them all the time. So,
yeah, can't argue that. Kobe,
110. Like you can't knock with a 110. I don't know. It's so dang good. It's so dang good. And like not all jerk baits are created equal. Obviously, we're going through these. We all have different experiences, but like the underwaters of a Vision 110, it's legit. It's really legit. And I like if you're just going off a regular 110 and the +1, I would say the actions are very similar. Once you go to a +2, actions are getting kind of weird on us a little bit.
You got to change your whole setup. I feel like for the plus two.
Yeah, it's just totally different.
It's more
totally
of a
different.
drag with it too, and then of a snap. You have to make that plus two work.
Yep, definitely. But the 110 and plus one are can't beat it in my opinion.
I seriously think the junior plus one has become my favorite.
I throw the plus one junior more than anything, I would say. Kind of like what Tyler was saying. Like we're targeting smaller fish. We have smaller bait fish. Like it's the deal.
Yeah. All right, Andy. Any 2 cents?
Vision 110. It's the most. I have way too many of them.
Andy at one point was trying to be a collector, like the guy that collects these JDM baits but doesn't throw them. One of those.
No,
guys.
I threw them. I didn't care. I bought them and I threw them, and I ended up selling them because I was like, oh, I can still get more. Like I bought one of each, like one to throw, one to tag on the wall, and I'm like, oh, I can get $25 more for this now that I paid for it. Fine, I'll sell it. I don't care.
Didn't you spend like $70 on one of the limited color lines of the Vision 110?
Yeah, and I think I sold it for like 110 or 120 like 2 weeks later.
The flipper.
Yeah,
I did flip them.
That is a thing now, I feel like.
Yeah, it's kind of worn off though because Mega Bass keeps re-releasing all like the really, really hard colors to get. I'm waiting for them to release some Morning Dawn, and it's gonna screw the entire collector market. It's gonna be hilarious because I don't know if you've ever tried to find a Vision 110 in Morning Dawn. They sell for like $700.
Really?
It's insane.
Holy cow.
People are paying that?
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Was that a matte perch?
Yeah. That thing's bad.
I like the matte skeleton shad. That's a good one. The purple, the chartreuse tip. But I just got 2 of those baby Kingyo ones because those were selling for like $500 on the collector market, if not more. And then they released like 10,000 of them, and all the prices crashed. It was kind of funny.
Gosh.
Yeah, but the color's sweet. It's like,
are you going to use these, or are these investments?
Oh, they're getting used. It's
going to wait till it shoots back up.
Maybe one of them, but I only bought 2. Yes,
I'm so simple when it comes to that. Like the whole Vision 110, like the mass amount of colors. Like I get I have like a flat white, and then 1 or 2 transparent with a black or green back, and that's about all I do with jerkbaits. I just keep it so simple. So I go down that rabbit hole. Like I don't even throw perch on jerkbaits anymore.
Oh my god,
I just can't. I don't know. Like I just lose my mind. So simple with it. I don't know. All right, we got the 10th seed and the 2nd seed. We got the duo got the first round bye, so we got the Berkeley Stunna versus the Duo Realis 110.
So duo got the bye, but I'm still going to go Berkeley Stunna here. I have fished the duo. It's kind of like a bigger bodied bait. It's kind of humped up. It definitely has a little bit different action to it, but I like the Stunna. It's like you said earlier at $12.99 and how good of a bait it is. I can't beat it.
Yeah. What you got, Kobe?
I'm going with the duo. I haven't fished the 110 a ton, so I guess I'm going a little off the board. The 130 though, like this is the one that the guys are throwing. And it's legit. Their duo's colors like across the board, like soft plastics, hard baits, like everything. Their colors are so sweet, so sweet. Does have a weight transfer in it. You can sling it a mile. I do wish that they made a deeper version. That's like the one hang up. Like I feel like I threw a deeper version of like every jerkbait way more than a shallow version. But overall, the action on the duo is pretty darn cool. I'm gonna have to go with the duo.
Well, they do have I'm seeing the 100 DR. The
100 DR.
Yeah, let me pull it up for you. And you share this tab instead.
You're about to cost someone some money.
Oh, they do have a deep runner, but
yeah, it's $13.99, which actually
is hooker
than the Stunna.
2 hooker.
2 hook. Why would you make a 2 hooker?
Really?
I don't.
Hey, you can put a third one on there. You can put a third treble on there.
Just strap one on the back.
Just put it on now. Put it on like right where you put your line tie.
There you go.
Yeah, brilliant.
Really throw off the.
Oh man, So,
Back to
but
that.
yeah, here's that one color.
Holy cow!
Yeah,
Hold on. Yeah, we'll blow you up, Andy.
that one color
That's
that was selling
pretty-
for insane money. It's got like a chartreuse top and a pink belly to it.
Okay.
Spring
How much did
Slow-Mo.
you spend on that? Honestly.
$25.
No
Because
way.
they released them like a month
Oh,
and a
it's a
half ago.
re-release.
Yeah. And then got a couple here.
This is
Let
Luke's another
Let's
buddy from
figure it
college.
out.
This is like the ugly stick anthem here. Bundle of white perch, 12 of natty light, and a pack of cowboy killers. You'll catch every fish in the lake.
Have good fish fry too.
I like it.
All right. Andy, you got to break the tiebreaker here.
Stunner. I haven't thrown the duo at all.
What a lackluster
I know.
tiebreaker.
It's one of those ones that I'm always like, I'm gonna buy this, and then I take it out of my cart. But I need to buy more jerkbaits to figure out.
I need to get that big one.
Yeah.
Well, Andy, I think you need to go shallower than 50 feet on Lake Erie to go catch him on it.
Oh, there's places to catch them on it. Don't you worry.
Oh, I know you. There's places for you. You're so deep all year guiding.
That's true.
All right. We are down to the final four. We got the 6 Sense Provoke versus the Spro McStick.
I'm going mixed stick.
I think Ty's gonna ride the Spro to the end.
I don't know.
All right, Kobe.
I'm also going mixed stick. I just don't have a ton of experience with that provoke. It sounds like I need to get some in my tackle box though. But
I think it's on for sure. Yeah.
That mixed stick's legit.
Yeah, my vote doesn't count, but I mean I'm going provoke just because recently it's the jerkbait I've had more success with.
Well, then again, we are fishing for Cheeto eaters, so
Yes,
we'll eat
that
it.
is true. It's probably because I tie it.
Yeah.
I have it on my deck more, but it's like provoke in 110 now. And then once water gets warmer, re-range gets included.
The Provoke definitely seems to have like a little bit of a wider body up front. So it kind of almost has like a bigger presentation, if you will.
Wider body as it like
from width standpoint,
Width.
not
not
from
tall.
top.
Yeah. Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's got like,
Gotcha.
almost like a ball and
It's rounded.
it's rounded
little
out
bit.
in the
Okay.
middle. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I think it
Yeah.
creates a little bit more like subtle roll when you pause it, like after that twitch on the
Gotcha.
slack line.
Huh.
I think it kind of shimmies in place a little bit better. And
Gotcha.
so
Yeah, Clint's saying here it hits harder and water displacement is much more aggressive. Intriguing. I'll have to look for that underwater footage that Clint said is in existence. I haven't seen that. But yeah, I would agree with him though. It's definitely a little bit more violent. All right. This is gonna be an interesting one. We got the Mega Bass Vision 110 versus the Berkeley Stunner.
I don't know if I can decide here. I feel like the Stunner I've thrown a lot more recently, like over the last couple of years, because so many people were throwing the 110. It just helped me to feel like I wasn't doing everything that everyone was doing. Like today I went fishing. I had 2 jerkbaits tied up, and they were the 110 and the Stunner. So to me, like these are
staples.
Just straight staples. This is hard. I mean, the 110 is probably the best jerkbait that there's just ever been. I mean, it's like this. Like I said, it's like the Cinco. It's like there's nothing that beats the amount of fish that's been caught on it. But I think I might go with the. Oh no, I don't know.
Well, so while you're deciding, there's actually a comment from Clint here saying one won a classic and one did not.
Ooh.
Actually,
Yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
Hank Cherry won a classic on both of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He won on both of them.
I was
So
gonna say.
he won Gunnersville on the Vision 110 and then won Ray Roberts on the Stunner. But it's also gray area because he was caught him flipping bushes too. But he was throwing the Stunner jerkbait wise. He caught it actually a 10-pounder on Ray Roberts in practice on the Stunner.
insane.
I don't know if that helps your
information.
decision, Ty. But
I don't. I'm struggling. The thing
I don't.
the
I'm glad
thing
I'm
I
not
know-
in this because I have no idea what to pick.
The thing that I do know about the Stunna, so the 112 plus one like this, it actually dives about the same depth as the 110, just the regular. Like if you notice, the Vision 110 actually has quite a bit more drag when you pop it than this the Berkeley Stunna, the 112 plus one. This one comes through cover really well, wood and whatnot. So I don't. Gosh, I'm struggling here. Like,
Should we come back to you?
sure, I could hear what people have to say.
What you got, Kobe?
I'm riding the 110. There's a reason that everybody has designed a bait that looks like a 110.
Yeah. Good. Yep. What you got, Andy?
Ooh, that's tough because I think my box has equal of both, to be honest. I think for smallmouth I want a 110, and for largemouth I want the Stunna. I feel like so. What do I do more? Smallmouth fish. I'm going 110.
Nice. That means that doesn't
Okay,
matter.
we got to ask now, like, why? Why the two different ones for two different species?
Sometimes I feel like a smallmouth will be more aggressive when the water is colder, and I can fish the Vision 110 a little bit faster as to where the Stunna, the best part of it is the fact that it slowly sinks. And when the water's cold, the largemouth is a little bit more lethargic. So I feel like you can kind of slowly drop it into their feeding zone and get them to bite and react a little bit better than holding a 110 up over their head without modifying the bait all too much.
I got you. All right.
Yeah.
Ty, have you made up your mind?
Well, the good thing is it doesn't matter because
Yeah,
Vision
that's
110 is doesn't. I think I probably would have gone with the 110. I don't know though; they're hard. So it's just. I think if I was trying to think if I could only have one jerkbait for the rest of my life and I had to decide between these two, I think I'd go with the 110. So yeah.
One good thing to consider is, are we talking straight stock?
That's a good question. Yeah. Are you taking Fusion 19s over Megabass stock hooks?
You know, to be honest, though, the way I fish a 110, I don't mind the stock hooks on a 110 until you have to pull them out of a fish's mouth with
So you have to
pliers.
reel them in.
Yeah. Well,
So
you just
you
loosen
have
the
to
drag a
hold
little bit. I've honestly never had too many issues with the stock hooks until I touch them with pliers. Like hooking fish is no problem, and hooking yourself is even easier with them. But
You get one caught in the carpet and it's over.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
it's ruined.
Yeah.
Or your finger,
Or
Can't
your
do the
finger.
braid.
Yeah.
Can't
Or
do the
your
braid
shirt,
trick
or
with
your
those.
hoodie, or bibs, whatever's
Yeah.
nearby.
Do
That
not
finger
Guaranteed to
grab.
get them to the
trick.
boat and you'll be bleeding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually does make it interesting. That was something I was going to ask all you guys too, is what you do hooks wise. I the thing about the Berkeley Stunna, I love the Fusion 19s. I don't love that they put the little EWG style ones on there because I do typically like a round bend. And the round bend of the same size hook on a Fusion, like if I got a Fusion, I think these are number 6 of the EWG size, and the number 6 round bend is a little bit bigger, a little bit more weight, so it even makes that bait fall faster. So
What do you run on your 110s?
So I actually put a lot of number 6 Fusion 19s on them because it actually turns this bait into it has about the exact same sink rate as the Stunna. So like if you look at that, that's a number 6 round bend Fusion 19. So I like them. They're good hooks. What I've noticed about Fusion 19s is they're extremely sharp, but they're a brittle hook. So they don't really bend much. They'll break before they bend. You know, like if you have the regular 110 hooks on there, they'll bend out completely. I mean, you can straighten those out. The 19, they'll break before that.
Clint knows what's up.
Yeah. A little sneaky.
Yep.
What, no,
BKKs are
BKK?
solid.
Dude, those are
BKKs are
nasty.
solid. Yeah.
I don't know. I've been in that zone now where when I'll buy Vision 110s, even some other ones as well. Playing with the weighting, of course, but I'm going straight to Ichikawas on those things now. That are some G-Finesse. Like G-Finesses are pretty good too.
ST36s are decent. This like the Zowire ST36s.
Those are nasty
jerkbait hooks as well.
Well, they last too. That's the thing. Like to Ty's point, I love Fusion 19s as well. My only qualm with Fusion 19s is that they can dull pretty fast.
Yep.
That's the only thing I got against them. Well, you got some that'll last like 40 to 60 fish, and then you got one that'll dull out in like 3. But it'll be like driven through the forehead of it. So it's
give and take.
I feel like there's so many good replacement trebles now, though. It's like all of it is now it's just waiting. It's really it. But
now, do you guys like the super slick coated hooks for trebles, or do you like the original like black nickel? Because I find, and this is like a personal thing that I've noticed with the super slick coats, when you hit them with pliers, they brittle and break a lot quicker. They don't dull, but they'll snap.
Yeah. Particularly on the G-Finesses. I snap G-Finesses like no other. The Ichikawas, I don't tend to snap as much as the G-Finesses. I guess the biggest thing that I've learned and like coated hooks across the board is they tend to stay sharper until they're not, and then they're done. Mm-hmm. You can't resharpen them. Where like a black nickel, you can get sharp again. If I mean, most guys are just going to replace the treble, but if you did want just a quick sharpen, you can actually resharpen a black nickel. You can't with a coated.
That's a great point.
A little tidbit here too from Clint. Anyone hit the gills of their jerkbaits with a little red paint? I haven't done.
We have a video with Randy Blockett on this.
Oh boy. Oh boy. No, it actually is a good. I actually know what exact video you're talking about. So it's one that I've talked about with a good buddy of mine, Benjamin Nowak, who has steered me down the route of putting chartreuse right on the nose or right by the front treble of the jerkbaits, but also led me down to like when I throw mag drafts, call shads, some of your soft swim baits, even like on A-rigs, putting chartreuse like right on the nose, like the underbelly of swim baits too. Gives them something different to key in on. Whether it works or not, it feels like it does, and then you're like, yeah, this is a difference maker, but probably doesn't matter.
Yeah, I just buy baits with orange bellies, chartreuse, like tail tips or near the eyes, or like big black beady eyes on them. Like I want something that they can focus on if they're feeding up or coming from the side. Like I don't modify them too much besides hooks, but there's a good reason to, obviously.
The jerkbait has so much flash on the jerk. Like I was just going through underwaters before I hopped on this, and like that's one thing that I noticed is the tail flash on a jerkbait is insane.
Do you think that's probably the more important part of a jerkbait is like the color contrast from the body on the side to the top for that flash and the wobble?
I think it could be. Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of different factors that go into it. Again, going through all these underwaters, sound is huge. I think I would lean more towards a silent jerkbait like every single day of the week, and I think a lot of pros that I've gotten in the boat with would say the exact same thing. Because some of these are just so loud, like it's like deafening if I have the volume on.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be that way, especially like now when you're combining forward where you can get it to come right over top of them. You'd rather have them not know it's even there.
You don't need to call a fish to, like, just throw it on them. You don't need to call a fish to your bait. Just put it in front of their face.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got our last one, and we'll wrap this episode up. We got our championship round. The 5th seed versus the 3rd seed. We got the Spro mixed stick versus the Vision 110. We'll shake things up for the championship round. We'll go Andy down to Ty.
I gotta go 110. The mixed stick is good though. Like it's a very good slept-on jerkbait that seems to have been forgotten by a lot of people, but it catches them.
It's funny when you go look on guys' boats like I don't know, I guess like a DC. I know for sure, like those guys that are like jerkbait aficionados, they got like 7 different brands because they have realized like a Walters as well is a big one. I feel like there's this whole emergence of a crowd of jerkbait anglers now with forward facing, but they have like these different brands that they can tell like certain situations they'll pick up a certain other brand.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely become interesting. In that.
Definitely. I was in the boat with Connell a couple days ago, and he just had a pile of all like every brand, every single brand.
It's pretty sick though, honestly. Yeah. All right, Kobe, what you got?
Yeah, I have to go with a 110 as well.
Did we all think this all like going into this that this was going to be Vision 110 and whoever was going to be in second?
Yeah. I feel the semifinals seemed like it was a closer decision.
Yeah, I would have gone 110 with this one as well. I think to me the 110 versus the Berkeley in my mind was bigger. I love this mixed stick; it is great, but I'm going 110 over it.
Right. Yep.
Well, I don't think anybody's surprised that Division 110 won that one, but
it's basically the greatest jerkbait of all time at this point. So
yeah, and people are still buying the living hell out of them for $25, which is why it's nice kind of throw in the junior +1 because it's $20. You know, you're saving a few bucks when you buy a few more. But yeah, I mean, they're just proven, man. They really are. I think the only downside I would say is just I'm not a big fan of the stock hooks very much, but I also wrench on my fish, so that could be a big factor why. Well, boys, appreciate the time and coming out here and dropping some knowledge. You know, we're live at the Wired to Fish HQ right now. Can't say we've any other shows been able to do that before. But for real, thank you guys, the media juggernauts of fishing coming in to weigh in on some jerkbaits. But everything that we mentioned in the bracket for folks, if you're looking to try any or you want to pick some up, they're down. Links to Omnia Fishing. You guys can go scoop them up. But any of them on here that you guys are going to try more or scoop that you haven't prior to the show?
I need to get my hands on Provoke, it sounds like.
I think so too.
I definitely want to try the big duo.
That's the deal.
The bigger duo?
Yeah, the big duo.
The 130.
So where does that stand in comparison to the Katana? Holy moly.
I mean, a Kanata is huge.
Yeah, that thing is so big.
So 130 is like the Smithwick Pro Elite Rogue, right? The big one, I think it is. So it's is it the Pro 6? I can't remember the name of it, but they have a big one too.
Yeah, this will like
have a big one.
We have done a ton of walleye fishing, jerk baits. Like if you can get a big Clearwater walleye to eat one of these, like it'll catch a bass. It's kind of what I've found.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, boys, appreciate you guys taking time out of your night and jumping on the show. Kobe, we'll have to actually get you on a show, not just a jerkbait bracket, and dive into some more things.
Yeah, I'd love to
on the media side. But Ty, appreciate you jumping on this. Hope you feel better.
Yeah. Yep. Hopefully too.
Did you give it to the kids or did they give it to you?
They gave it to me.
Jerks.
Yeah, we finally took my one son in because he had a fever for like 7 days, and so it was strep throat turned into scarlet fever with a double ear infection and all kinds of stuff.
Man.
So I'm trying to.
It's going around.
It's bad.
Sounds like my house right now. Like we've had everything go through.
Andy's house is like
daycare.
I don't. It needs to be like hazmat suit when you go to his house because it's not even like the normal flu or cold. It's like, my daughter's got this West Nile crocodile virus or something, and it's like,
Dude,
and Deacon and I were like, what? Because I don't know, we're all sick again. And it's like every week there's a new sickness.
She's on her 6th or 7th ear infection in 3 months. She's had strep. The other one had strep. They've both had like really bad colds and sinuses. Like it's just unreal. Like, since January.
These kids.
Kids.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. I swear they just lick the floor everywhere they go. It's like, how are you getting this?
Hey, it's that scene out of Super Troopers where he's just licking the back window.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Well, boys, for you, Ty, anything coming up that people need to know on Bass Fishing HQ?
I guess a little teaser. I don't usually do a lot, but I got a video coming out in a couple of days. I just shot you a message about it earlier today, but I'm testing out like I think 7 of the 6-inch swim baits that all of us kind of know about, like the Mag Draft and Zal Dangerous's new one, or the Dangerous swim bait. So there's a number of them there, and I did a lot of underwaters like you were talking about. Luckily for me, it was just dipping my hands in mostly, but it did some interesting results to see how these all kind of compared, since there seems to be some scuttlebutt on the internet about it. So
the internet is nothing but scuttlebutt.
That's true.
Next
that's
person
it.
Shenanigans is getting pistol whipped.
Shenanigans.
Hey, Farvo, where's that? Sorry, I could quote those forever. Kobe, what about you, man? Any trips coming up for Wired?
We're always on the road. I'm heading out Sunday for the Classic. Be down there for like 8 days, and then I don't know. We're all over the place, so it's been a busy start to the year. But wouldn't want it any other way. We got some pretty darn warm weather. It was like 60 degrees here in Minnesota today. So yeah, we're gonna have open water soon, which I'm excited about. Unfortunately, we can't catch a bass until the middle of May, but they'll probably be out deep by then.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, that is brutal.
That sucks, man.
Hopefully next year. It sounds like it might pass.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Yep.
Yeah, because you guys had like the worst ice season in years, right?
Brutal. Really bad. Yeah, like on record, worst ever.
Wow.
So yeah, we'll be out early, but I'm gonna have to go give my money to Wisconsin and Iowa.
Oh, at least Iowa's got some pretty good fishing, nonetheless.
It's decent.
Yeah,
it's decent.
all right.
Yeah, you poked a hole in most of them, but
yeah. I still won't forget that day I still tease Kyle Jesse about all that. That was a good time. Well, dudes, appreciate it, and that we're definitely going to have to get you guys back on for more of these bracket deals.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Appreciate the time, boys.
Yeah. Thanks,
you,
guys.
Appreciate
All right,
it.
see you.
Was
Always
fun.
a good time with Ty. First time getting Kobe on the show, and man, Kobe's probably one of the hardest working guys I think in the industry. That just completely kind of gets overlooked, obviously, because he's not like a big presence on social media. He's not like one of the PR people that you see like that are vocal, throughout certain brands or anything like that. He does a little bit of the filming in regards to like in front of the camera for Wire to Fish, but he's like the guy that's getting after it social media wise, doing a lot of the filming. He's literally doing underwaters in March in Minnesota. Like that takes some dedication. Yeah, just one of the best we got in the industry, and their whole team, honestly. Nick Dumke over there, Kyle Peterson. That's how I met one of good friends of mine that's at TH Marine now, Mitch Anderson. He came from Wired to Fish. They build a team of grinders over there, man. They got a whole group of them. I know like Sam Hangy, he's writing for him now too on the digital side. They do good work. So kudos to Todd Hamill, Jason Seelock, Ryan DeShane over there, and of course Ty Berger, man. He's obviously a frequent now on the show. He's a good pal. Been fishing with him and stuff, and he just super good and polished with his content. That's the reason why they're two of the biggest. And it didn't even click till I texted Kobe right before the show to see if he was free by chance. But like that's two of the big juggernauts that we had on that for a bracket. So that's pretty awesome. But Andy, man, that was a really good show. It was good to get Hamner on, check in with him for the Classic. I'm looking forward to seeing him Classic Day in the boatyard, things like that, and seeing all the boys next week. But looking forward to watching some of our buddies on Redcrest and seeing how those guys do. I think DC is going to be pretty damn hard to beat. It's probably going to be a forward-facing event. Respawn, I think he's going to be one. He's got to be easily the favorite. If from a percentage-wise for votes, I'm going to imagine it's got to be like a DC. Maybe a Jesse Wiggins would be up there too. Yeah. Obviously, Wheeler's always in it regardless of where they go. But it's gonna be a fun event to watch. Looking forward to that. Trying to think, should we try to do some morning watch parties for Redcrest? I don't know if we're allowed to stream it. We can ask them about that, but maybe do some coffee streams with the folks for Redcrest. If that's something you guys will tune into, let us know.
Yeah.
I'll say too as well, if you guys are on Discord, we now have a Serious Angler podcast network Discord where we'll talk. It's kind of like the whole Instagram, what do you call it, the channel, if you will, but except you guys can actually converse with us. So it's a more community-based feel, and we'll put out like a bunch of deals that you can get, for Omnia or all the different partners we work with. There's things that we see in the industry that you can take advantage of. I think I dropped the link to that down below. If not, just reach out and we can show you guys the Discord link. But thinking about doing some different stuff with that on the Discord side, just from a streaming thing, something behind the scenes. Like if Andy and I are fishing, maybe go live on Discord so we can converse while Andy and I are bullshitting out in the water. But Andy, anything else for the folks before we wrap this thing up?
No, I think we're good to set it there.
Cool. Well, folks, if you guys want to try any of the baits we talked about with Hamner or in that bracket, it's all linked down below. You guys can go click on the links to Omnia, use the code Series10, save 10%, and as well as remember, of course, the new discount to Hobie Eyewear. It's now that link that's down in our show notes, as well as if you're on social, you just click the link in our bio and you can save 20% off your Hobie Eyewear shades. Got some new ones in actually from them. We'll show you guys on social. And then last but not least, if you're looking for anything, for the spring, things are getting warm fast. Blackfish dropped the new sun pants as well as the new colors for sun hoodies, sun shirts. So make sure you guys take advantage of those. Holler at us anytime you guys need links or anything like that. And we appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next one.